Hello everybody, another Saturday and another installment of Rock and Roll. Robert Madoy here, ready to cover lots of ground with David Mutaka here and Philip Kivoijana. Advancing across the gain line should be a piece of cake, guys.
It's never a piece of cake, but we'll do our best.
As David says, of course, it will be a brilliant one.
Okay. Well, sit tight, for here's what's coming up on the show.
The Weavers have their opponents fumbling, but could they cap their great start in the Schools Rugby League with the much-needed title? We've been to Smack to find out what's cooking. Ugandan Rugby is rocking its latest baby, but will the inaugural Touch Rugby League have Midas touch? And conditioning expert Jerry Bally describes what it takes for one to flex muscle.
Now, flexing muscle is exactly what St. Mary's College Kisubi is doing in the Schools Rugby League. Unbeaten and with the scalp of Namiryango College under the belt, Smack is undoubtedly the team to beat. We've been sounding out the team's pillars, Ronald Mutebi and Ronald Ogwok.
The rivalry with Namiryango is actually it's over 100 years old. It's used to be in academics, but then when rugby came in, it was just that other avenue to beef, with Namiryango. But it's been a good one. I like it because it hypes up our games and it gives it a flavor. So yeah.
The win was contributed to mostly by our backline. All the tries came from the fly-off, the first center and second center. I was actually very happy, basing on the fact that I've been off for a year. I had a broken leg last year. So coming back and being the first to score against Namiryango for Smack has been a very good thing.
We've lost our young players as they come through. We've lost some of them due to academics. We've lost others due to discipline. So 2 years ago, I came up with a project where we have, it's called Rugby as a Family in SMAC. So in this program, what we did is we care for one another. So I always sit down these kids, counsel them, especially the under 14s and under 16s. And I've told them that we cannot win the league unless we keep all of you around. So it's something that has worked. The last 2 years, we have only lost 2 players.
I think our year is blessed because ever since we joined the college, we've been scooping all our accolades under 14, under 16. So basically, I think the team is good.
These kids here, they have been with us for 2 years now. So they're really, it's like a family. So we are enjoying rugby. It's more fun. Now, when we step out there, it's like we're enjoying it. So we win out of enjoyment. Every year, our best student is always a member of the rugby team. From the days of Felix Lubega, Paul Kavazi, now doctors, both of them. So actually, sports enhances academic performance. But you see, schools now and other stakeholders, without statistics, they think that when the boy goes down to the pitch and plays rugby, because it's a contact game, so when they go back, they can't concentrate. And yet, when they come down here, they refresh. When by the time they go back up, take a shower, they are fresh to read. And over the years, I think SMAC for us, we've had no problem. Rugby players are always the best performers. Yeah, I should say, if you belong to the old three, we call it the old three, Namiryango, Budo, SMAC, the coming on board of HANA, it threatens the status quo, and definitely it doesn't augur well, but it's good for rugby, Back five years ago, it just used to be, a contest of 3 schools. But now, the mathematics has become complex, It's gone are the days when you think you just have to beat Namiryango to the trophy. Right now, we are more worrying about Kololo SS, We told, just when we were worrying about Kololo SS, then we had Hannah posting a score of 65-0. So it's now the league is more exciting. You cannot tell right now who is going to win the league.
Ronald Mutebi and Ronald Ogwok there. David, it appears Smack is stealing the thunder from your alma mater.
Yes, stealing the thunder and killing them in the process. I think the game over the weekend was a disaster for anyone who went to Namilyango. For SMAC to come into our backyard and win 15-0 is really unacceptable. But credit to them. They did the hard work. They scored 3 tries. They couldn't convert. Yeah, so well done.
David, we managed to unearth this fascinating picture. I'm sure it rings a bell. I don't know which class that was, and I don't know what happened to the hair, to your hair, but we'll certainly, revisit that story some other time. What I'm interested to know is what exactly happened to Namilyango College. Previously, we knew them as this side that plays champagne rugby, expressive. They play within their 22. Now, they are playing a forwards-oriented game. Really, it's not soft on the eye. We've also seen they are losing players to make weight teams, if you may call them, the likes of London College. This was unheard of back in the day.
Yes. Speaking to Ivan Magomo at the game on the weekend, he said one of the things that happened is that the school has stopped admitting players on sports merit. So some of the players that would have come back find themselves in Hana, find themselves in London College, and possibly even some of them in SMAC. So the policy around education, which is a pity really, it's sad that that's happening, is one of the reasons I think for me that Namilyango finds itself where it is. So their under-16 team, which was not the greatest team, even from last year, finds themselves in a deep end of a team like SMAC, which has built over time. Hana, which is getting players from Naguru, Kololo, which is getting players even from the league. The other one I think is the coaching. Walakira and Kakuru, I think.
Ambrose, yes.
Ambrose Kakuru. I hope they're not watching the show, but
you have no kind words.
I don't think they are quite there yet. They have not played many games. I don't know if they've done the coaching courses tactically in terms of what they're doing. Because if you looked at Namilyango playing on the weekend, they looked like guys who had seen the rugby ball like for the first time. No stringing of passes 2-3 times. Number of phases coming through, nothing. They didn't even attack the 5-yard line of SMAC. I think they did once in the whole game, during the whole game. That was really, as a coach, you do know where you want to attack, and I didn't see that coming out.
And Philip, that balance that the teams are trying to get, or should I say the schools, that they are trying to get between sports and academics, it's really costing them dear, isn't it?
Of course, it's costing them dear, especially Namilyango. I mean, like he said, they stopped the policy of recruiting on points for sports, and which other schools have retained. We saw Ronald Mutebi say he has lost only 2 players in the last 2 years. So that is a strong team that has gelled over time. And you're going to have problems when you play such a team. You saw their performance against Makerere College, 38-3. And then they go to Namilyango, and I think they were just scared that they were playing Namilyango. Otherwise, it would have been a way bigger score than it was. And
sticking with you, Philip, the non-traditional schools, the Hanas and the Kololos of this world, they have continued to send a shiver down the spine of many sides, haven't they?
Yes, they have. I mean, someone mentioned that the status quo of the top 3 is being threatened, of course referring to Budo, SMAC and Namilyango. But you look at Hana, the defending champions. They were doing well, and the surprise this season is Kololo. They even have a win over the defending champions, and they've won 2 of their games in a row. And of course that will send shivers amongst some teams. SMAC is about to face them. You could see it's a concern for them there.
Yeah, they scored 64 points against Chambogo, and that has really had teams running scared.
Yes, Mutebi couldn't, you could see the shock on his face even through the camera. I think talking to Seguia Robert, who's the coach of Hana, I think the day they lost to Kololo, as Philip said, he nearly cried. Someone sent me a WhatsApp message and said, Mzee Sogi's here crying, you can't believe that. And speaking to him, he said, no, look, it will never happen again. Did you see what we did to Chambogo? So he must have gone and given them a tongue lashing and all that, and the boys, I think, have styled up. So definitely, I think people are worried for the right reasons. But as Mutebi said, I think it's a competitive league. So the schools, they're attracting a number of people watching as well. So people are following it if you look at the social media, which is good for rugby in general.
And David, I can see you're wincing there. You played in the inaugural Touch Rugby League yesterday, didn't you?
Yes, I did. As I said, so the teams are Heathens, Cobbs, Pirates, again tailored along the existing clubs. The chairman club.
Yeah.
Really just trying to bring the old boys back into rugby,
Yeah.
get them involved again. I think we need everyone who can support rugby coming back to rugby. And it's a good way to exercise and keep fit as well. I think some of us need to lose some of our bellies. And Philip, I'm not talking about you.
Yeah. You look like you're from Portugal, as Tolbert Onyango would say.
Yes.
You have a pot belly. But Touch Rugby League, do you see it making any difference health-wise? Yes, it will.
Definitely. I think one of the things that the game has suffered with is that, first and foremost, the people who used to play the game have found themselves irrelevant. They don't have a touch point for the game.
Yeah.
People who are learning don't have an entry point into the game. How do you interact with the game?
Yeah.
And Touch Rugby gives you that opportunity. It's camaraderie,
Yeah.
it is low contact,
Yeah.
it is high skill, it is fun, and it's played over a smaller area. So fitness, and then Ogon, of course, once people come back and start seeing what's happening in the rugby, they bring in their ideas, if they can fund, if they can finance. So right now the initiative is to try and raise 10 million shillings for the national team.
Okay.
So all those people who are playing there are individuals with different capability in terms of fundraising. So, and even just the moral support. So having more people coming to the games to watch the games, to bring their children to the games, so that the sustainability of the game depends on the people who have played it, who have loved it in the past, and hopefully can come back and participate.
Okay, sounds like a good cause. Let's take a short break now. We'll have plenty to get through when we return.